a calendar in Python. By the end of this video, you'll have a calendar looking something like this. So let's start. To make this calendar, you have to import two modules. The first one is called Tkinter or Tkinter. To do that, we'll type in import Tkinter. And you can also type in from Tkinter import asterisk. This asterisk means everything. So from the module Tkinter, Python is going to import everything so we can use in our program. Our second module we're going to use is called Calendar. To do that, just type in import Calendar. These two modules, you won't have to install it. They're automatically installed. Now let's start. First of all, let's create our root. So we have root, which is the name of the window. And let's set that equal to TK. This will make our window. So let's run our program so far. But before we do that, we also have to write a line called root.mainLoop. So it will loop and stay for as long as we want it to stay. Now let's run the program. As you can see, here we got a window. And let's change the title of this window. So we'll type in root.title. In parentheses and quotes, we'll write something like calendar. Now let's run the program again. Here, as you can see, when we make this bigger, it says calendar at the top. But when you run the program, its default size is this. Let's change the size by typing in root.geometry, and in the parentheses, writing quotes, we're going to write, let's say 550 by 600. So this is the length and the width. Okay, now let's run the program. As you can see, this is now the default size of our window. Let's add a label to it, which will say calendar at the top, right over here. So to do that, let's create a variable called label1. Let's set that equal to label. In parentheses, we're going to write root because we want the label to be on the root. The text on the label is calendar, let's say. Or we can also write 2022 right beside it because we're going to make a calendar for 2022. And the font, let's set it to Times. The size, 828, and let's make it bold. How about the background? Let's set that equal to black. And the foreground, which is the color of the text, into white. Okay. As you can see, this is our program so far. But we also have to use the calendar module. let's make a variable called calendar months. Okay, calendar months. And let's set that equal to calendar dot calendar, but in front of the second one we're going to put a set of parentheses. Let's enter the year we want to make the calendar for, and that's 2022. Let's make it for 2022. Now let's run our program, but before doing that, let's pack label 1. So label1 dot pack, and this dot pack function will actually display label 1 on the screen. So let's run the program. And as you can see, it says calendar 2022 at the top. So let's just change the font over here to Arial. And there you go. Now we have to match the background of the label to the background of the window or the root. So let's say root dot config, and in parentheses we're going to write background, and let's set that equal to black. Now let's run this program. And as you can see, this is what we have so far. And lastly, we have to create another label. Let's call that label 2. So we want to create a label on the root, the text. Now for the text, we're going to make it equal to the calendar months, because for this label we want it equal to the calendar. So this is a most important part where we display the calendar itself. So root, we want the calendar on the root or the window. The text is equal to the variable calendar months. And the second most important thing is the font. There's only one kind of font you can use, and that is Consolas. Because at the end of the video I'll show you what happens if you do not use this font. Now let's set the size to 10 and let's make it bold. Okay, now let's pack it or display it. So label 2 dot pack, and then a set of parentheses. So let's run our program now. And as you can see, here we have our calendar 2022. Now what happens if you do not use Consolas, the font? Well, let's do something like Arial. And now let's run the program. Well, as you can see, there's nothing for Monday, and all the dates are in the wrong spot over here. And everything's messed up. But when we use Consolas, it's literally the only font you can use to align everything like this. So here you can see there's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. This is how you can use the calendar module and Tkinter module to make a calendar in Python.